Hello, wrestling fans, boxing fans, and everybody out there. How are you? This is my spotlight, where I said I would spotlight the sportatorium in Dallas, Texas. Now, the sportatorium in Dallas, Texas was a really small sports venue that held professional wrestling from, I think it got demolished in 2003, 2003 I believe. I'm not sure. But it held wrestling for a long time. And it introduced people to such superstars. And we'll get into that in a minute. Taking a sip of the drink. The sportatorium in Dallas, Texas. Now, first and foremost, the Von Erich family. Kerry, Kevin, Mike, Dave, Chris. All of them boys came up through the sportatorium in Dallas. Speaking of the Von Erich family, they have a movie coming out. It's called Iron Claw. And it looks tremendous. I hope the movie does them justice, because as far as in-ring talent, Kerry was second to none. Kevin, second to none. Dave, awesome. So, the Von Erich feud with the Freebirds, Michael Hayes, Buddy Roberts, Terry Gordy, Jimmy Jam Garvin. That feud with the Von Erichs made the sportatorium famous, made the Von Erich family famous, put the Freebirds on the map. But the sportatorium has also opened doors for talents, and we'll get to that in a minute. But we also saw a guy named Gino Hernandez, Charles Whoop, aka Gino Hernandez, in the sportatorium. We saw Kamala, the missing link. All these guys, sportatorium talents. Talents that came through the sportatorium. Came through the state of Texas. And it also introduced us to a 6-time world champion, 2-time WWE Hall of Famer, Booker T, and his brother, Stevie Ray. Stevie Ray became a professional wrestler, I believe, 2 years before his little brother, Booker T. And I know what people are going to say, Booker T's the bigger star. Okay, cool. But still, 10 tag team championships. They held the GWF, that's the Global Tag Team Championship, 3 different times. And they're the only team that has done that. Also, we saw Eddie Gilbert went through the sportatorium in Dallas. Cactus Jack, Raven, Scott Anthony Levin, aka Raven, went through there as well. Eddie Gilbert, not only a terrific talent in ring, not only a mind for the business like you wouldn't believe, in ring work off the charts, but he was also a booker in Global, and I believe in ECW as well. The Patriot Dal Wilkes came through the sportatorium as well. Former WCW Tag Team Champion Dal Wilkes. Rest in peace to the Patriot. There was also a guy named the Dark Patriot. I didn't see very much of him outside of Global, but I believe he was in WCW for a brief period. Raven, we're all familiar with Raven. Impact Wrestling Hall of Fame, former NWA World's Heavyweight Champion, former U.S. Champion, Tag Team Champion. He's done it all. He even helped put a small little promotion in South Philadelphia called Extreme Championship Wrestling on the map. He's one of the main components that put that on the map. Rest in peace to New Jack. So folks, the sportatorium is not around anymore. They were trying to make it a landmark in the state of Texas, but they were unsuccessful in doing so, which is a real disappointment. I would love to see them do with the sportatorium in Dallas what they did in Philadelphia, where they just revitalized it and they turned it into a full-fledged arena. Because in the beginning, the ECW arena was just a bingo hall, but now it's a full-fledged arena. Not a big arena, but it's a functioning sports venue now. And I wish that they were able to do that with the sportatorium in Dallas. Mick Foley. Come on, we all know Mick Foley. The man got thrown off the Hell in a Cell at the King of the Ring. I believe it was 98. WWE Champion. WWE Tag Team Champion. WCW Tag Team Champion. ECW Tag Team Champion. And an author many times over, Mick Foley. So, he was trained by Dominic DeNucci, by the way, who passed away, and that sportatorium. Dustin Rhodes spent time in the sportatorium back in his younger days. Let me tell you this. Yes, Dusty Rhodes is in his 50s now. But he's a better worker than I've ever seen him be. Like, he's in shape. He's looking great. He's held every major championship in WCW. He's a 3-time Intercontinental Champion in WWE. A tag team champion with Booker T. He had a stint in the sportatorium in Dallas. Ric Flair, as NWA World's Champion, came to the sportatorium on numerous occasions. Kerry Von Erich was an NWA World's Champion, won it at the Parade of Champions. That was when his brother Dave died. They called Dave the Yellow Rose of Texas. And Kerry Von Erich held that NWA title for like 19, 20 days or something like that. It was a very short reign. Believe it or not, he was supposed to have that belt a lot longer. But for some reason, it didn't go down that way. Ric Flair got the championship back in Japan, I believe. It was Japan. So Booker T and Stevie Ray were called the Ebony Experience. the Patriot, Raven, Hot Stuff Eddie Gilbert, Cactus Jack, aka Mick Foley. All of these individuals started out in this little venue, this little arena called the Sportatorium in Dallas. So many legendary things that went down in the Sportatorium. I wish it was still around. Unfortunately, it's not around anymore. They tried to make it a landmark, like I said before, but they were unsuccessful. But there's a new breed of legend coming out of the state of Texas, when it comes to the sport of professional wrestling. It's called reality of wrestling. The owner and operator of that business is a man named Booker T. Hoffman. That's right, Booker T. He runs reality of wrestling. So a man who started his career in Texas is now the lead promoter in Texas. And the reality of wrestling is a family-owned business with his brother Stevie Ray, his wife Charmel. But Booker T's the head of the table at reality of wrestling. And there's a new breed of talent coming out of Texas because of reality of wrestling. I've seen some of the shows. He's done a terrific job running that business and making it the place to be for up-and-coming wrestlers out of the state of Texas. So kudos to Booker T for giving back to the sport that he loves so much, and the sport that has given him so much, and giving a platform to young up-and-coming superstars. Well, I'm Ryan Murphy. That was my spotlight on the Sportatorium in Dallas. I'm out. Everybody stay positive. Stay in good spirits. I'm out.